Now we all love older games. They bring us nostalgia, memories of great times, and many have great adventures to experience. But some of them are, well, just hard to run. And with Skylake refusing to even boot Windows XP, it's time to take matters into our own hands and construct a PC that is virtually the same as what I grew up with. This is of course the £5 retro gaming build. Up first with the CPU, which is a 2.4GHz Northwood Pentium 4. The exact model of Pentium 4 that I grew up with after our aging Pentium 3 system just couldn't cope with things anymore. It's nothing amazing, but it's a stable piece of technology that was featured in many systems. It holds its own well in games, as well as productivity, which is where the Pentium 4's long pipeline isn't much of an issue. Back then, that all meant nothing to me, so why should it mean anything here? This cost me 50p to purchase today, and for that price, I'm definitely not arguing. Next up we have the RAM, which is 2GB of DDR 400MHz stuff. I had 1GB growing up, which never really hindered me in any way, but here we are going for the best possible stuff this board can take. I got this for free from a PC that was being thrown away. They were old school PCs that were being upgraded to the maximum they could take, albeit 2004's maximum, but still not bad stuff. Fitting this Asrock board was relatively easy to do. This board is absolutely lovely. It comes with SATA compatibility as well as enough AGP and PCI slots to suffice even the heaviest of users. This came with the case and cost us £1 from the local boot fair. This didn't take too long, but the case was a little bit fiddly to get around, so after a little while we managed to fit the board in the correct position. The hard disk drive also came with the case, and is a 200GB Seagate Barracuda. It's IDE but works just fine, not to mention the DVD drive which is also IDE, and cost us £1 to purchase, as the case looked bare without it. The graphics card cost me £2 to purchase from the same boot fair, as the seller was confused as to what it was, and it was just going to be thrown away otherwise. It's an ATI Radeon X800 Pro from Gigabyte, offering roughly the same power as the previous year's flagship GPUs from 2003. It's a little powerhouse and more than capable for my uses. The sound card was available for £1 and is a Sound Blaster Audigy card. It's not too shabby, as reviewers criticised the onboard Asrock sound chip, so the Sound Blaster was a nice pickup in hindsight. We decided to connect up all the devices with IDE, as that's the options they had available to us. We use this rather long and nice Asus cable, which allows us to connect all three devices together with just one cable. The case proved fiddly to fit the front panel connectors, but after a bit of time had passed, this issue had soon been tackled. The power supply unit was an FSP Group OEM power supply, which I picked up for 50p at the boot fair as well. It can provide 350 watts and is more than capable for our modest build, although once again the case proved to be a bugger when it came to actually getting it inside. We proceeded to do a little bit of tidying with the case, just a few cable ties here and there to tuck away a few of the cables. Not that airflow would matter greatly, as this PC wasn't really going to make much heat as it was, but we just thought it'd look a little bit neater inside. Finally, we had the finishing touches. The 3 stickers to christen the components into the PC. As the stickers would imply, we have loaded Windows XP onto the hard drive. As well, Windows XP is one of the best examples of how stable an operating system can be after all these years after its release. It's stable, it runs well, and it's quick, and it still has programs that support it to this day. And that's all for part 1. In part 2, we'll be taking a look at some benchmarks. Of course, thank you very much for watching. Good night! And of course, part 2 will be coming very shortly, probably within the next couple of days. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this, and apologies for the slow uploads. I've been rather ill recently and haven't been able to get round to doing the editing and recording I should have been.